Hello and welcome back to The Voice Within. Before we dive deep into today's conversation, I just want to say something which just came to my mind just now when I press record. I really want to thank you for showing up in this space week after week. When I see that the people are coming back to my words week after week, already year and a half, it gives me so much happiness and it gives me so much wish to record more, because if even one person is having something valuable in my words, that means that I'm making the change in this world and I'm living my purpose. So it's like a win-win situation. I live my purpose, I share what is inspiring to me, I share what is changing my life, and you on another side finding benefit in that. So thank you for showing up week after week in this space. I really hope that many more years to come we will be together in this space, as long as I have this euphoria and wish to take this microphone and to share the things that I know, things that I experience, things that I change and implement in my life with you. So, like I said before I go deeper into today's conversation, today's topic, I just want to say these things for me and for you. So, thank you. So today's conversation will be a little bit triggering, it will be a little bit hard, but the only way that we can progress, only way that we can change something in our life is actually to have this kind of conversations that are often a little bit triggering and uncomfortable for us. But once we see ourselves and our behavior in a bit different way, without need to accuse ourselves or to shame ourselves or to guilt trip ourselves, just to be honest with ourselves, then we are basically able to change something and do something about it. When we continuously living in unawareness about the things we are doing, we don't even know that we're supposed to change something. But once we become aware that there is some part of us that are not maybe okay and we need to change them, then we can actually change them. And the shame and the guilt when we see these things is actually keeping us away from change, because as long as I feel guilty, as long as I feel shameful about the things I'm doing, then I'm not focusing on change. I'm not focusing on implementing new behavior in my life. I'm focusing on the way I'm feeling in the moment. So no judgment, no guilt, no shaming in this podcast episode. Let's just have with one another open conversation about, are we safe for others? We all know how does it feels when somebody is not safe for us, when they dismiss us, when they mock us, when they ignore us, when they make us feel small, when they flip our reality, when we say something and they say, no, it was not like that, it was like this, and then you feel like you're losing your mind because you see clearly what is happening and person in front of you is flipping your reality. Or when somebody is throwing comments and jokes that stab you in your heart and you feel like, okay, this doesn't feel okay, but if I say something they will make joke out of me, so let me stay silent. We all know those things when the people intentionally or unintentionally hurting us. But lately I've been thinking and asking myself one very, very hard question. Am I safe to others? As you can notice, in every single podcast episode I record, I move from the place of the woman who leads herself, the woman who is self-responsible. We cannot change other people. We cannot change how they behave, how they think, how they communicate. We cannot influence it in any way if they don't decide to make some change. Only thing that we can change is how we behave and relate to those people. What is our boundaries? What is our limits? How are we going to communicate? How are we going to talk? And in order for us to change something, we have to first of all become aware of the things we are doing that are not correct towards other people, that they are not safe for other people. So what are the behaviors that sometimes shows up in our life that we are not aware of them, and they could be not really safe for other people? They could actually have the same impact that other people have on us when they mock us, gaslight us, minimize us. The same thing other people could experience in our presence. If we want to be self-led woman, if we want to be self-responsible woman, we have to be responsible for our own behavior. We have to do that self-check-in and say, okay, is this what I'm doing coming from ego or from the real need and wish to connect with the person in front of me? So some of these behaviors that are not safe for other people is maybe when we are talking over somebody, when we are interrupting because we just feel that we have to say something, or when we are persistent in being right, when we don't want to acknowledge mistakes, when we don't want to take accountability for our behavior. In essence, would be when we are focused so much on being right more than finding the positive outcome for conflict. Our focus is continuously on being right, protecting our ego, instead of actually focusing on resolving the issue in the first place. Other behavior that could be unsafe for others, the behavior that we do, could be maybe sarcasm, where we throw the jokes that look funny to us, but actually what we are doing, we are using sarcasm to defend ourselves instead of speak directly. So we use sarcasm, we punch under the belt where it hurts, so we feel and gain that sense of control in conversation. But actually we are harming another person with that behavior. Or for example, when we are ghosting people, when we are avoiding their messages, when we're trying to set the boundary without setting the boundary, to don't say no because we don't want to be looked and feel like a bad one. So we rather ghost the people and give millions of excuses why we are not available. Well, we actually know why we are not available. This is, first of all, extremely disrespectful. Just think about it. When somebody is doing this thing to you, you don't feel comfortable with it. Because of our inability to set the boundaries and to be responsible in relationship with other people, we are just ghosting them, making them feel small, minimizing them, because we are not able to set the boundaries and directly say no. One of very common in motherhood is actually withdrawing love or attention as the way of punishment. When we get angry with our children, then we just go away from them without repairing the problem. It feels like love is connected to performance. If you perform good, then there is love. If you don't perform good, then there is no love. I cannot love you, I cannot hug you if you are not doing exactly what I'm expecting you to do. Mothers often do this unaware, but if you notice these things inside of yourself, it's time for you to do that self-check-in and to see actually that this is not safe for your children. It can harm them in the long term if you continuously doing this. So love shouldn't ever be questionable, regardless are our children performing or not performing. We all make mistakes. We all do a lot of bullshit in our life. But if we had adult person loving us unconditionally, regardless of our mistakes, most probably you and me wouldn't be here right now listening this podcast. So if you are doing this in your life, if you noticing that you are doing it, check in with yourself and start become honest with yourself about your behavior and really try to change it for the sake of yourself and for the sake of your children. Other behavior that is often unsafe for others is minimizing other people's pain, other people's experience, other people's feeling. This is these moments where somebody comes to us and tells us something heavy in their life or something that they are struggling, and we just brush it off with, this is nothing, not a big deal. I don't know why you're bothering. How come you didn't do this before? We don't know what another person is experiencing. We are not in the skin of another person. We don't know what kind of feelings they have. And more than that, we didn't live their life reality. Something which looks for you small, irrelevant, for them is huge. We are not all wired the same. We didn't came from the same family. We don't have same cultural backgrounds. And some of the things can be huge for one person, but small for another person. That doesn't make anybody stronger, weaker, bad, or good. It's the fact that we see the things differently. So be careful if you are brushing off family members, friends, or the people in your circle with this kind of sentences, minimizing their experience and their feeling, because these things, they can really hurt them. Other form of not being safe for others is basically gaslighting. When we are flipping the reality, maybe you get into conflict with your husband, maybe you have fight with somebody and they tell you this what happened, and you flip it and say, no, it's not like that. It didn't happen that way. And you flip reality, how it's suiting you, how it's making you feel less guilty about actual facts of the situation. So we have to be really, really careful with this. This often happens in marriage, where husband and wife are more focused about being right than actually resolving the issue. So then they start gaslighting each other. No, this is not what I said. No, this is not what you said. No, it was like this. No, it was like that. And then you are suddenly in the conflict of defending yourself, or he's defending himself because he feels attacked, but none of you is actually focusing on resolving the issue, finding the common ground. And I will record one podcast episode definitely about people not being safe for us, but I want to start first with our own personal responsibility. Because if you are in this space, if you are listening this podcast week after week, that means that you are trying to improve yourself. That means that you are trying to become self-led woman. And in order for you to become self-led woman, you have to be aware of your flaws and correct them slowly. Not shame yourself, like I said, but correct them. Notice them and try differently every time. So why this conversation is so important? Why did I decide to bring this topic about are we safe for others today? Because when we only measure how safe others are for us, we are always victims. They are doing this to me, they are doing this to me, everybody is attacking me, but we are not actually reflecting on how do we affect people around us with our behavior. But when we ask ourselves, am I safe for others? That's when we step into maturity. That's when we step into self-led woman. Because now I'm leading myself. I'm sitting with myself, asking myself, am I safe to others? Is there some behavior in me that it's affecting other people that I'm not aware of it? I am leading myself in change. I want to be a safe person for other people. And what is beautiful in this is once we once we decide to change the things we do so we become safer for other people, we actually notice when the people are not safe for us. Then we come to that place of understanding, okay, if I'm trying to be more safe for other people, but other people are still hurting me and they are not trying to become safe for me, then I have clean slate to set boundary, because I don't want that kind of people in my environment. So the more we are reflecting on ourselves, the more we will notice dysfunction when it's happening around us. We cannot continuously focus only on protecting ourselves. This is important part, but we have to also focus about being someone that other people can trust and lean on, that other people feel safe around. When I entered in motherhood, I felt very lonely, honestly, and I heard that a lot of moms, they say that they felt very lonely. This is the time when I started my blog, I started writing because I just wanted to connect with the people who are going through the same experience. The more I was diving in the personal development, improving myself, my life, learning about dark sides of my soul and changing them and accepting them actually the way they are, the duality of life. All of it is me, and good and bad is just me, it's just human. So once I started doing that work, I found very strange, I don't even know can I say strange, but it was very hard for me, the fact that there is no many healthy women around me. The woman that I can lean on, that I can trust, that I can share the things without being judged. I decided I will become that woman, first of all for myself and for all other women who are coming in my circle. Because I really truly believe that we need more extraordinary women in this world, women who are self-led, self-aware, self-responsible, who are becoming safe for themselves and for others. So if we are constantly focusing on what others are doing to us, we are continuously in the victimhood state. But once we start actually reflecting from dignity on our own behavior, it becomes two-sided thing. Because we are not flawless, we are not perfect. There is things that we are doing unintentionally to other people. So once we do that, then we become that extraordinary woman, that people can feel safe around us and they actually want to spend time with us. If we want to have extraordinary relationship, if we want to elevate our marriage, have more intimacy, if we want to have better motherhood, if we want to have better friendships, it can't only be about how others treat us. It has to be about how we treat them as well. Without that self-reflection, we will actually not be able to elevate these areas of our life. We can demand from other people to behave in a certain way, but if we don't become that what we're demanding them to become, we will not have that elevated, extraordinary areas of our life that we feel proud about. So we have to ask ourselves, am I meeting another person with dignity? Am I respecting another person? Am I talking with respect? Am I valuing them? Or am I minimizing them, dismissing them, mocking them, throwing sarcasm? What actually I'm doing? What is my responsibility in this relationship? Am I contributing to elevating my relationships, or actually I'm tearing them down with my behavior and then expecting others to change because I cannot look at my own flaws? Am I safe space for the people to come and tell the truth without minimizing their experience, minimizing their life situations? This will not happen over the night. It's a process. I am still years and years in this process. I'm still uncovering where I was uncomfortable to other people, where I behaved from my trauma, where I was acting from my trauma reflex, that I was not even aware that I'm doing something which makes other people uncomfortable. But I have built so much safety inside of myself that I can speak about these things, I can own them, and I can work on changing them. So it's not enough to demand safety from others. The true maturity, the true self-led woman is making sure we are safe for others too. That's it for this Sunday. I hope you found something valuable for yourself, and I know it may be a little bit triggering for you today. Try to sit with it, try to think a little bit about it, try to see where maybe you're doing some things which maybe you are not even aware of them, and you can change them, and with that change you can actually elevate your relationship, your life overall. Until the next Sunday, I wish you a beautiful rest of the day. Bye.